Welcome to the online training session on the topic of Effective Planning and Management Systems, Part 2. This session is based on the criteria in Principle 1 of the Sustainable Agriculture Standard. In this session, you will learn how to establish a system to ensure standard compliance by all of the farm's stakeholders, and how to establish a traceability system to avoid mixing certified products with non-certified products. Let us start with this case. On the day of an audit, the auditor found that the fuels are not properly stored on the farm. The farm manager says, "We don't have money to build a proper storage for fuels. Our workers are all busy, and they don't have time to build one either." On another farm, the auditor found that the area right next to a stream has been sprayed with herbicide. The farm manager says, "I know that we're not supposed to spray near streams, but it's the workers who did this. They don't know that they are not supposed to spray near streams." On another farm, the auditor found that the pesticide sprayers are wearing a dust mask instead of a chemical filter mask. The farm manager says, "They are not my workers. I subcontract professional sprayers to come spray my farm. They come with their own PPE, and I don't interfere with their business." How can we avoid all these cases? We need to ensure the commitment to certification and to standard compliance by all the parties involved in the farm operation. First of all, the farm manager and the group administrator needs to be committed. He or she needs to allocate necessary resources and personnel to implement the standard on the farm. Secondly, all the workers need to be trained. They need to know what they have to do to comply with their respective areas of the standard. Lastly, the service providers of the farm also need to comply with the respective areas of the standard. Although they are not part of the farm, their activities affect the farm, so they also need to respect the standard. Let's look more closely into the first point, commitment of the farm manager and the group administrator. This is in Critical Criterion 1.6. What kind of commitment is required from a farm manager or from a group administrator? He or she needs to allocate the necessary financial resources to implement the criteria on the farm. As you will notice, many criteria that require significant financial investment are in level B or A, so you have more time to implement them. He or she needs to designate responsible personnel who ensure the implementation of the farm management plans. He or she needs to ensure that the farm is complying with applicable laws of the country. No illegal activity should be allowed on the farm. He or she needs to develop and update the farm management plans, which were explained in detail in the previous training module. He or she needs to regularly check whether the farm is complying with all the applicable criteria in the standard. The second point was training of workers. The criterion C 1.8 asks for a training plan to be developed and implemented. As you can see in this example, you need to develop a plan to cover all the topics on which workers need to be trained and set a timeline. For example, a training may be about a use of PPE and safe handling of chemicals. Another training could be about how to conduct pest monitoring. Whenever you conduct training, do not forget to keep a training record. Criterion B 1.11 asks for a training record that contains the following information: training topic, name, organization, and title of the trainer, focal crop, if you are managing multiple crops on the farm, number of women and men trained, and proof of participation. As proof of participation, you can ask the participants to sign an attendance sheet. If a participant does not know how to write, he or she can put a fingerprint instead. This is a picture of a training session. Do you notice anything? Yes, the participants are all men. Criterion B 1.12 says that the farm needs to support the equality and empowerment of women by providing equal access to products, services, training, and education. Farming is often considered men's territory, and we often experience that only men show up to training events. However, women carry out many important activities on the farm. If you want to implement the standard on your farm, it is indispensable that women are also trained and informed about the standard. When you are conducting a training event, make sure you invite female workers or female members of the group. You need to find a day and time that is suitable for their conditions. For example, early morning may not be a good time for them, as women may be busy attending their house, their farm, and children. Women may not be able to make it to the training if it coincides with a market day. When a farm or a group selects a manager, supervisor, trainer, internal inspector, or representative, female candidates should equally be considered. We have observed that women can also become excellent trainers. Let's get to the third layer of people who need to be committed to the standard compliance. They are service providers. Critical Criterion 1.5 says that farms or groups need to select, monitor, and manage the service providers so that they comply with the applicable criteria of the standard. If you have different options of service providers, you should select the ones that already comply with the standard or are willing to comply with the standard. Then you need to monitor and manage them to ensure that they really comply. Who are service providers? They are the people or companies who conduct the activities that a farm would conduct. For example, pesticide application, hiring of workers, transporting products or workers, providing worker housing, waste treatment or disposal, obtaining fuel wood, timber, or other resources from local natural ecosystems. All of these are activities that a farm would conduct. However, you may decide to contract a service provider to do any of these activities. Then, you need to ensure that they would conduct the activities in a way a certified farm would conduct them. A contracted pesticide sprayer needs to wear PPE and handle pesticides safely, as a worker in a certified farm would. It is important to understand that the SAN definition of service provider does not include those companies which conduct activities that a farm would not conduct. For example, selling pesticides and fertilizers is not an activity of a farm. Therefore, agricultural input shops, electricity companies, water companies, supermarkets, and buyers are not considered service providers. There is an additional requirement to service providers that handle products after harvesting. Such service providers include a service provider that processes harvested products, a service provider that stores products on behalf of the farm, a service provider that packages and labels products as certified. These service providers need to hold a valid SAN chain of custody certificate. This certificate ensures that these service providers are not mixing certified products with non-certified products. After putting so much effort into producing certified products, you cannot allow certified products to be mixed with non-certified products. Critical Criterion 1.3 says that the product's integrity needs to be preserved throughout the process of product handling. When a farm or a group handles both certified products and non-certified products, they should not be mixed at any point of product handling or sold together as certified product. Certified products and non-certified products should be handled separately, and their records should also be kept separately. Only certified products should be sold as certified. In this coffee cooperative, products from certified producers are received separately from those from non-certified producers. Records show how much certified products and how much non-certified products have been received. After reception, certified products are processed, packaged, and stored separately. A sign is placed to indicate the processing and storing area for certified products. At each reception, a product receipt should be issued which shows the date, product origin, type, and its volume. This information will help you calculate the total volume of certified product and non-certified product. This will also allow for the product to be tracked back to the producer in the event of any problem with the product is identified. In these photos from tea factories, you can see how tea leaves from certified farms are segregated from non-certified leaves at all stages of processing. The processing facilities are clearly marked as certified or non-certified to avoid any accidental mixing of both products. Critical Criterion 1.2 prohibits any overselling of certified products. What does this mean? If you harvested or received a certain volume of products and are selling more volume as certified products, this indicates that something strange is happening. You cannot sell more certified product than you produce. If you harvested or received a certain volume of products, the volume of certified products you are selling should always be the same or less. How can you demonstrate that the total volume sold is equal or less than the total volume harvested or received? You need to keep records that include volume of products sold as certified, volume of harvested products, and volume of purchased products. Keeping good records is very important to ensure that non-certified product is never sold as certified. If you are a group administrator managing various producers, you need to establish a mechanism to calculate a credible yield estimate for each group member. For example, a group member's yield estimate for this year is 700 kilograms. If this producer brings 500 kilograms of harvest to the group's collection center, then it is likely that this producer is only bringing his own harvest. On the other hand, if this same producer with the yield estimate of 700 kilograms brings 1,500 kilograms of harvest to the group's collection center, then something is wrong there. You need to suspect whether this farmer is bringing another farm's harvest mixed into his own. There should be a control mechanism to detect such cases. Now it's time for quizzes. Let's do some quizzes to confirm your understanding of this session. First quiz. A pineapple farm has no shelter for the workers to rest and have meals. The farm manager says that the farm does not have enough money to build a shelter for the first year of certification. He says that the farm plans to build one after 3 years. Does this farm comply with the related criterion? The answer is yes. We have seen in Critical Criterion 1.6 that the farm manager needs to be committed to dedicate enough financial resources for the standard compliance. However, it does not mean that the farm needs to comply with all the criteria in the first year. A shelter for workers is required under Criterion A 4.45, which is a Level A criterion. Many criteria that require significant financial investments are in Level A, so that the farm can take some time to organize its budget and gradually work towards improvement. Next quiz. A large coffee cooperative has 60 trainers, all of who are men. They say that they give preference to men because farmers listen to male trainers better than they do to female trainers. Does the cooperative comply with the related criterion? The answer is no. Criterion B 1.12 requires that equal opportunity is provided to women. This cooperative does not hire women as trainers because of their gender, so it does not comply with this criterion. Next quiz. A farmer buys seeds from an agriculture input shop, but this agriculture shop sells sand-prohibited chemicals. Does the farmer comply with the related criterion? The answer is yes. Critical Criterion 1.5 requires that a farm select service providers that comply with the applicable criteria. However, the SAN definition of service provider does not include agriculture input shops. Therefore, selection of agriculture input shops does not influence the compliance of this criteria. Next quiz. A tea factory rents a warehouse to store its certified tea because its own warehouse is too small to store all the products. A factory manager visits the rented warehouse once a year to inspect it against the criteria on occupational health and safety, employment conditions, and wages. Does the tea factory comply with the related criterion? The answer is no. What the tea factory is doing is an excellent monitoring of service providers. However, when a service provider is processing, packaging, or storing products, Critical Criterion 1.5 asks for a valid SAN chain of custody certificate on top of monitoring. If the warehouse does not have a chain of custody certificate, this criterion is not fully complied with. Last quiz. The records of a cocoa cooperative show that the total volume of fresh cocoa beans received from certified producers was 2,000 kilograms, and the total volume of dried cocoa beans sold as certified was 900 kilograms. The conversion rate of fresh cocoa beans to dried cocoa beans is 0.35. Does this cooperative comply with the related criterion? The answer is no. According to the conversion rate, 2,000 kilograms of fresh cocoa beans will be converted to 700 kilograms of dried cocoa beans. However, this cooperative is selling 900 kilograms of dried beans as certified. It can be suspected that they have mixed non-certified beans and sold them as certified. This is against Critical Criterion 1.2, which prohibits overselling of certified products. Achieving Rainforest Alliance certification requires commitment from everyone. All the people involved in the production need to work together towards the same goal of certification and sustainable agriculture. A certified product is the fruit of efforts by countless people who have worked together towards this goal.